Hi, welcome back to See and Free Studio. This is Jennifer Longian, and this is the place we come to talk about what makes us unique, special, and different. And today's guest is just that. Today I have with me Anthony Morrison. Originally from West London, Anthony is a celebrity hairstylist and winner of Bravo's Shear Genius and hair makeover artist on TLC's 10 Years Younger. Now, Anthony finds himself in Hermosa Beach, California, where he is the creative director and owner of the Londoner Salon. It is LA's, I say, first open air, or as he says, open hair salon. It's green certified. He's really found a way to bring people in and create a community here in the South Bay of Los Angeles at the Londoner Salon. I'm super excited to have him here. Please welcome Anthony.
Hello, hi.
Hi.
So good to be here.
Yes, thank you. Well, and then let's just clear up for the guests real quick.
Yes.
You didn't do my hair today. This is not a reflection of you and your craft. But I'm super happy to have you here. I do go to your salon.
Yes, you do.
And that's how I met you a couple of years ago. But Anthony, please, I'm so glad you came in today. Will you tell everybody just a little bit about yourself and the things that maybe some people don't know and what you're doing here today?
Yeah, so I'm originally from London and been here for the last 32 years. And it's been quite the journey. So the reason why I came to California originally was I came on vacation, spent a month, and in the month I was here, it didn't rain. There was no fog. It was just gorgeous the whole month I was here. And I said to my friend, oh my God, this is amazing. Does it ever rain? He goes, no, it never rains here, except for like 1 or 2 months out of the year. And that's what kind of swayed me. I was like, oh my God, this weather's so great. As I was flying back into the UK, there was thunder and lightning. And I was like, all right, this is a sign I'm supposed to be living in California. So that's what kind of prompted me to eventually make a move and come over to California to live.
I actually think it's the same for us. Moving from Atlanta, we had the same experience. And people would apologize if it sprinkled. And so you're like, wait, this is nothing, right? Yeah, no, that's great.
Exactly.
So tell everyone your journey, as a stylist. Like, how did you get into this field and discipline? And then, how has it manifested for you?
Yeah, hair has been literally a lifelong passion.
Yeah.
I wanted to be a hairdresser when I was 8 years old. And I have pictures of me, in the kitchen with my aunts and my sisters, getting in the way, them telling me, go and play with your friends. I'm like, no, I want to see what you're doing. And that was at 8. So I've always had an affinity to be a hairstylist. And the journey's been great. So I started off at the London College of Fashion. I was there and I did my apprenticeship there. Then I worked at a wonderful salon in London called Splinters. And that's where I got the bulk of my training. And then I had my own salon called the Anthony Allen Salon. That's my middle name, Anthony Allen.
Yeah.
So
you went with that.
Sounds like a hairdressing name, Anthony Allen.
It does, yeah.
So I had that for a couple of years in England, and then I moved out to California. So it's been great, and my main philosophy of what I love with hairstyling is teaching. So all the salons, I've owned 4 salons in California, and all of them have been based on education. And it's all about promoting, training, educating the next line of hairdressers coming into the business. And so I've always believed that if you have a gift, share it.
Yes.
And hopefully who you share it with will share it with others. And that's always been my philosophy. So I still continue that same motto, and in my business that I have today, the Londoner by the beach, it's the same thing. I bring people in, I train them, make them extremely good at what they do, and send them on their journey. Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah.
Well, you do have some amazing stylists because they do my hair and they're very patient with me. So thank you for that. So this show is all about what makes you unique, special, and different.
Yes.
I, during this time of the pandemic, really wanted to lift people's spirits and say, hey, don't get down. Don't start doubting yourself, in this moments of isolation. And sometimes people lost their jobs or kind of started to question their way a little bit. And so that's what it was for me, is bringing that for people to, you know, and tell some great stories like about
Definitely.
people like you.
Yeah.
So tell everyone what makes you unique, special, and different.
All right, so when this whole pandemic happened, you know, the salon that I have is pretty amazing. When I moved back to the South Bay from Beverly Hills to Hermosa Beach, there's 11 other salons that surround me on Pacific Coast, on Aviation Boulevard.
Yeah.
And my whole thought was, how can I make my salon different? How can I make it more unique than all the others? And so I decided to incorporate an English tea garden.
Yeah.
And so for the first year that we were there, we was doing a full English high tea. So you'd come in, get your hair done, we'd serve you high tea, you know, on bone china, scones that were flown in from London, and we did the whole thing, and it was so great. And people would come in, they would sit, they would drink their tea, they would have their hair done, and they felt special. And that's really what kind of separated us from everyone else.
Yeah.
Then the pandemic happened, and we had to close the tea garden. And so after we were closed for a few months, California said, if you have an outside space, you can use it. So we had our beautiful tea garden already set up.
Yeah.
So I was like, why don't we just turn that into an open air salon?
Yeah.
And so that's what we did. Got all new furniture, we set it up beautifully. It's landscaped like an English country garden.
Yeah.
And so we started doing hair out there. We were the first salon, and we still are the only salon that has an outside space like this.
Yeah.
And as a result, people were still able to come in and get their hair done where they couldn't get it done other places. And, you know, people were feeling down because of the pandemic and feeling a little bit helpless. You know, they were stuck indoors and so on. So we created a space where people could come to get their hair done safely and feel good about themselves.
Yes.
And that's what
that makes you unique, special, and different.
For sure, definitely.
Yeah. And I can tell that you do create space, because it's so the reason I started going to your salon is because when you drive down Aviation Boulevard here, your salon stands out because it's covered in greenery, like, and you always decorate. Which, when I looked at your title of creative director, I'm like, that is you in a nutshell. Like, you do create space, you create community, and every time I go in the salon. And it was great to be able to get my hair done outdoors, which actually felt even freer. Like, I don't know. I mean, it felt just even more relaxing to just be in fresh air, getting my hair done in the middle of a pandemic, and just have this beautiful space. Like, and you do create that. And every time I go in there, there's a new manifestation that you have created. And I'm always seeing you walking around doing stuff and you know, welcoming everybody and having great conversations. And so that does make you unique, special, and different. And I think it is why your salon stands out. Like, and so you did a great job at like mastering that. So Anthony, like the point of this show is to really share what makes us unique, special, and different. And I would love to hear from you. Like, what is that for you?
Oh my gosh. Oh, well, there's a lot.
Yeah.
As most of my friends and family would say, there's a lot.
Yeah.
I every day for me is an opportunity to be better, to give more, to love more, and to share. And when I wake up in the morning and I open my eyes, I get to see another day, and I'm just so eternally grateful for another day, another opportunity. And so I hit the road running. I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm at the gym by 5. I work out for 2 hours. I get to my salon. I go, and try and do the most. And but I think ultimately I've always been a little bit different. You know, even when I was very young. You know, my family would always say, you know, when you were like a little baby, you would always reach up and grab people's hair and wanted to touch people's hair. And so we knew inherently there was something in you that was going to go towards the creative side, but we weren't quite sure. And then, you know, 8 years old, I started wearing, you know, skinny jeans with leg warmers over the top. And they were like, what are you doing? You know? I'm like, isn't that a thing? They're like, no, that's not a thing.
It will be someday.
And it did turn into be a thing. It really did. So I've always been a little bit different and wanted to kind of walk that line, you know, of creativity, should we say. And I knew that from very young. So going into my teenage years, I left school when I was 15. And Didn't take any A-levels, didn't do any of that kind of stuff. I knew what I wanted to do. I said, I want to be a hairstylist. I'm going for it. I'm leaving school. My dad was like, oh God, oh no, what are you doing? This is not a wise decision, my son. I said, yes, it is. I'm clear. This is my lane and I'm going to stay in it. So left school at 15, went into a 5-year apprenticeship. Went to London College of Fashion, did all those things, worked in a great salon in London, and then came over here, and gosh, the rest has been really history. It's been amazing. So I think it's just been very clear, you know, and I've always known exactly where I'm supposed to be and what I'm supposed to be doing in life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's creating a space. And so one of the things that you did, talk about being unique to stand out in this time, was to create this open air salon,
Yes.
right? During the middle of a pandemic, to find a way to use your space, create a space where everybody could come together and be in community. And, you know, you took care of a lot of people in our community, in our neighborhood, and took care of their hair and just made them feel special. So
that was so important for me. I said, you know, I've got this opportunity, I've got this amazing space. Let me just create something that people could come here, relax, feel comfortable, and really just enjoy getting their hair done and not feel panicked the whole time they're here. You know, it's gorgeous. It's surrounded by all of this lush greenery. You know, we are definitely a customer-driven salon. We want your experience to be amazing. You know, call us the Four Seasons or the Peninsula of the hair world. You know, we are all about creating that ultimate experience for you. And so, and all of my staff are trained in that way. You know, that's what I look for when I'm hiring people. I look for, you know, do they have compassion? You know, do they care? You know, are they willing to serve and to take care of people? And those are the qualities, moreover, being a hairstylist. You know, if you've got those qualities, then I can teach you how to do hair. But if you don't have those qualities and I teach you how to do hair, we're stuck. You know, we're going to be at an impasse. So I look for all of those qualities. That's why I have such a great team.
Yeah, I love that, because I say that to people a lot too. Like, there's capability and there's willingness, right? And I can teach capability. I can help you develop that. The willingness, the grit, the passion, the aspiration, that's the stuff you got to come with, you know?
Exactly.
So, yeah, that's great.
Yeah. So, and, you know, and as a result of that, many of my stylists and juniors that work for me, they also share that same message with people coming in and also to the clients too, so it's great.
Yeah. Well, one of your stylists had to teach me, like, what my hair was, like, and how to take care of it, which was great, because I was like, this is super to actually learn how to take care of my hair, which I've had for 47.5 years, you know, and trying to figure it out. Like, and I was like, she's explaining to me how my hair works. And I have naturally very, like, wavy hair, and it's very untamed. And it was nice to have somebody just finally teach me what to do with it, which was great. So I think you have completely, you know, created that space for your stylist and for your customers. And you know, you talked about being driven, and so you talked a little bit earlier about, you know, goals and how you set new goals for yourselves every year. So tell us a little bit about your goals that you set every year.
Every year I set myself new goals, and it's just a fun thing to do. You know, it kind of gets me out of being a hairstylist and business owner, and I get to focus on something other than that for a few hours a week. And I felt that it was really important for me, because sometimes you can get so immersed in what you do, you just get so lost in it. And so I had to find something to kind of pull me away, still with a creative bent to it. So I've been to the Epicurean Culinary Institute, and I did train to be a chef for 1 year, French cuisine, guitar playing, that was last year. I can play 3 beautiful classical pieces right now, and so I'm still going to keep.
I want to walk into the salon and have you playing. By the way, that would be great.
I will.
Okay, good.
I'll do it for you. And last year I did sewing, ballroom dancing. I've done fashion photography. And so every year I'm just kind of adding to that pool and just kind of like learning new things and floral arrangements. So now I do beautiful floral arrangements, and I do all the flowers. I do all the landscaping of the salon myself.
Yes, you do.
And you know, I come in on Sundays and spend half a day just digging and planting and, you know, pruning and just making sure the space looks beautiful. And that's another way for me to relax as well.
Yeah.
And doing gardening, it's like so therapeutic.
Therapeutic,
Oh,
yeah.
it's so therapeutic.
I've heard that about gardening. I haven't quite gotten there yet.
Yeah.
But I have, you know, I love the idea of it, like being with the earth and like creating something and just watching it grow. I mean, I think that's a phenomenal thing to do, and I admire people that can do it. And your salon is beautiful. Like you have this wonderful English garden, which
Yes.
I've lived in London, so I recognize those English gardens. And just going there, it's very peaceful. Being outside with the sunshine and the fresh air, and then the beautiful space you've created.
And you know, getting your hands in the soil, as you said, is so important.
Yeah.
And the plants, they know that you're around. I mean, you know, if I see a plant and one day it's not looking too good, I'm like, oh my goodness, what's wrong with you? What happened? Like, all right, here's a little extra water for you, and oh, come on, you can make it.
Yeah.
People think I'm crazy as they're walking by. They're like, okay, what is that guy doing? He's talking to the ground. Okay, what's going on? But it really does work.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes I sing to them, good morning, good morning. Oh, look at you.
That's amazing.
These two things like that. So this guy's crazy.
That's great.
But it brings me immense joy.
Yeah.
And I love it so much.
Yeah. Well, it's good. Well, and it shows. Like it shows in what you do, because it's like I said, it captures your attention when you drive past the salon. I love driving past the salon. It makes me happy to see the vines along the side of the building and just all of the greenery and the flowers. And then whatever season it is, you always have amazing decorations and lights. And you know, I mean, it's a spectacle, and it's a really beautiful thing, because it stands out, like when you're driving along all this concrete and there's your space. So,
well, when I took that building over 3 years ago, it was this horrid stucco, and like just nothing building that you wouldn't even notice as you would drive.
Yeah.
And I tried painting it, and I was like, no, that still doesn't look good. And we tried, you know, putting like little borders around everything to kind of pop the window. I said, no, that doesn't look good. So I just covered the whole salon in green topiary.
Yeah.
So now it looks like an English cottage garden.
It does.
Salon, and then that got us noticed, and then the landscaping came in and everything else, and then all the lights went up, and so on. So we just keep adding and adding and adding and making it even just more gorgeous and more picturesque, should we say?
Well, it is beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, so appreciative for the space. And I want to just stop for a second, because I will forget to do this, but I do this section of the interview where we do a random question.
Yes, okay.
So you get to pick between 1 and 25, and I'll give you the question, and I want to hear your answer. So what's your number between 1 and 25?
Oh, geez. 14.
14, all right.
It's my birthday.
What do you love about your USD? Like, what fulfills you about it? Like, why does it bring you such joy?
About
your unique, special, and different.
What I love about that is I get to make people feel good.
Yeah.
And again, and that's kind of like why I went into the hairdressing business in the first place, because I realized just by creating gorgeous, beautiful hair, somebody walks out of your shop just a little bit taller, a little bit more confident, you know, happier, feeling beautiful and gorgeous, and or handsome and rugged, whatever you
whichever.
And it's a really rare thing, you know, that a lot of people don't get to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So my hands are on you, I'm touching you, I'm creating something for you, I'm giving you something special, something very bespoke, because every hairstyle is very different on everybody. So we're creating magic, I would say, and that's what I love.
Yeah.
And I love seeing people's face light up when they see something that they never thought they could have. It's like, wow, this looks amazing. Thank you so much. This is the best this ever looked. I can't believe it. Yeah. And they're so happy. So that's that my unique skill lends to making people feel great.
Yeah.
So that's what I love.
I love it.
Yeah.
And you do. You know, I think I feel that when I leave, but I see other people leave the salon, you know, feeling like more confident and walking out just saying, okay, I you know, I know that I walked in here one way and I'm leaving here in a, you know, feeling more empowered, feeling more special, feeling taken care of. And so you do create that for people.
Yeah, definitely.
One of the things, speaking of helping people, that I like to do is to highlight nonprofits, you know, that are trying to make people's lives better in many different ways. And the nonprofit, which I'm not familiar with, so I'd love for you to tell us a little bit about, is Comfort Human.
Yes.
So will you tell everybody a little bit about it?
I would love to. Comfort Human was started by my dear friend Tori Tellum. And I've known Tori for many years. And Tori and I used to go hiking at Runyon Canyon every morning. And we used to talk about many different things. And she's a hospice worker. Yeah. And primarily she would sit with women and men that were in the late stages of Alzheimer's and dementia. And she would tell me all of these amazing things. She would speak to them and read to them and listen to their stories. And I always, even to this very day, I say, wow. I said, that is so admirable and so amazing that you do that. You know, you give of yourself in that degree. It's like unreal. And so a couple of years ago, Tori started Comfort Human. And Comfort Human is a non-profit organization that goes into different hospices and takes care of people that have dementia and Alzheimer's. And it's by reading to them and giving them things that they can hold and touch that may remind them of a certain time of their life. And this organization is great, and I support it 100% because it is giving back and it is making people feel good and making them feel like they're cared for. Yeah. And this organization does just that. It's like phenomenal. Yeah. And I support it 100% in every way I can. And and I love what she's doing for her nonprofit. So
that's wonderful.
Yeah.
So for those of you watching the show, you know, if you're watching this on YouTube, please support Comfort Human. You know, what Anthony's sharing is that while people may not remember everything about their lives, they do remember being taken care of, right? And I've lost somebody to Alzheimer's in my life, and it's very hard to watch them kind of slipping away and not remembering you, but they remember being cared for. They remember those moments that somebody came and spent with them. And Comfort Human is bringing that to life. So if you get a chance and you're watching this, go up to the end here. You'll see at the end of the show a QR code you can scan with your phone, and it goes directly to the website. If you are listening to this on any of our podcast channels, you can go to comforthuman.org and find them there and donate and get involved. So thank you for that. You know, Anthony, you talk about wanting to make people feel special.
Yes.
So I'm going to try to get through this real quick, but I want to tell a story about you.
Okay.
My mother got cancer in June of 2020, and it was stage 1, and it was a bit scary because it kind of came out of nowhere, and I had to abruptly cancel my hair appointment, and I called your salon manager, Cassie, who's been with you for a number of years.
She has.
And I told Cassie this story, and I said, listen, I've got to rush to Texas to be with my mom, and she goes through treatment, and she's very sad because she can't get her hair done. She can't, be immune compromised. And I said, Cassie, can you recommend a store-bought color kit that I can use, please? And so I can help her. I really want to make her feel special because she was about to turn 70. It was her birthday. And not only did Cassie send me a color kit from your salon, a professional kit with all of the stuff I needed, but she sent me a video that you did, a tutorial on how to color hair. And while I still have no business coloring hair, you made my mom's life so much more special by that just simple gesture of doing something in that moment. And her hair was so important to her, and just feeling normal and not being fearful of what the treatment would do. And since then, my mother now has stage 4 cancer, but we're working on beating that. But your stylists have come through over and over again just to give her some tips and tricks and make her feel special from so far away. So I want to thank you for that.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that makes me so happy to hear that we were able to do that for you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And your tutorial videos, I mean, if I can do them, you really are a great teacher.
Excellent.
I was like, wait, what? I have to separate? And, anyways, so exactly. She looked great. She looked great. It was really good. So thank you for that.
My pleasure.
It really means a lot. And your people take care of our community and take care of all of your customers.
Yes.
So I just want to tell you that we really do appreciate you. And I'm glad that you've spent your life creating and continue to create and all the things that you do. So I want to thank you for being here today.
Thank you so much for having me. This has been amazing. Thank you so much.
Yes, well, thanks for hanging out with me.
It's been awesome.
Good. Come by anytime.
I will. Thanks.
Well, with that, everyone, this is a wrap for today's show. Thank you for coming to cnfreestudio.com. This has been a real pleasure for me to be able to highlight so many incredible stories. You can visit us on any of the podcast channels you can find, or YouTube, or my LinkedIn. Please come back and see us.